Alrighty, let's talk Alabama weather headlines. Week of August 17th, and we finally get that August heat that I know all of y'all have been waiting for. We'll have isolated rain chances from now really through Wednesday before things become a little bit more concrete. We'll track Hurricane Aaron. I'm going to show you why to be careful with the long-range models with respect to the tropics. So heat, obviously, one of the stories here. Heat index values across the state as high as 104 in Birmingham and Mobile, as cool as 98 or 96 in Troy. That's a hot afternoon, folks. And we look at those current temperatures, middle 90s pretty much everywhere. You can see some of that rain-cooled air in those spots where you see those lighter color contours. Dothan's at 88. And that'll pretty much be it. Temperatures should be fairly uniform outside of rain chances. So, a look at the composite radar here, and it's not necessarily something that I expect to be much more active than this. In fact, most places you're probably seeing about the coverage that you'll see the next couple of days, if not, lesser so. So this is a look at the radar right now for the past 1 hour. This going from 240 to 340. And notice the movement of storms northeast to southwest. We have a high oriented just to the west of here that's given us a northeasterly wind. So things will track from some sort of a northerly direction the next couple of days should rain be able to develop. Decent amount of lightning strikes here. Let's go up towards the shoals first, the Tennessee Valley. You got a few thunderstorms coming up towards Smith Lake, a couple south of the Tennessee River and up near Fort Payne. Down to Gadsden on 59, you'll run into a heavy downpour. To the western side of the state, a few storms across the state line in Mississippi, also just north of Fayette over to Jasper in Walker County. And then as we look a little bit to the south, there's Lake Martin. You're in the clear. And then thunderstorm moving right over the Coosa, just north of Wetumpka. That is headed towards the Prattville area. Again, heavy rain, lightning will be the story today. There's a look at the, again, regional radar view. Very spotty in terms of the rain, and the wiregrass looking primarily dry at this point. So our rain chances on Monday, not very high. This is depicting anywhere from 15 to 30%, a little band across central Alabama. Much of the state remains dry and hot. Tuesday, even less or so. Rain chances stay on the lower side here through much of the week. Let's go to modeling data beginning Wednesday. This is the European model. Wednesday afternoon showing what looks like an approaching front from the north, a wave of showers and thunderstorms. Should see pretty good coverage beginning maybe Wednesday late in the day for folks up in the shoals. This is Thursday. You'll notice good coverage with that sea breeze front down along the coast. In general, rain chances start to pick up Wednesday and Thursday. I think our highest rain chances, though, statewide are on Friday, potentially into Saturday, if we can see this a bit more prolonged. But signs of a potential weak frontal boundary approaching the state of Alabama. When you get to late August, it's not unheard of. What we typically have is a frontal boundary with drier air, so lower dew points behind it. Makes it not feel quite as oppressive, so we'll keep an eye out for that late in the week. 7-day average rain totals here from now through Saturday, next Saturday. And again, nowhere depicting anything high. You're looking at maybe a half inch as much as an inch. So this shows not a lot of rain this week. The story is the heat. So our high temperatures for Monday going to be anywhere from 90 on the lower side all the way up to about 97 degrees. It's going to be a hot afternoon here. And again, August is known for its heat levels. We just haven't quite had those crazy heat levels just yet. On Tuesday, same deal, middle 90s. And really at any point this week, we're going to have heat indices approaching the triple digits, 100 to 106. Temperatures, Wednesday onward, 93 at Birmingham, 95 in Tuscaloosa, 96 in Demopolis, 91 in Dothan, 89 in Huntsville. We'll go to Thursday, and as our rain chances creep up, temperatures will gradually go down. Again, it'll depend on the timing of the rain, but Thursday afternoon will have us in the upper 80s to low and mid 90s, and by Friday, a lot of places may stay well into the 80s with more clouds around, better rain chances, and that'll be this Friday, the 22nd. Into Saturday we go. Again, I do expect rain to be around for the first part of the weekend in efforts to really cool things down. All right, the other story in the world of weather has been Aaron, which is currently a Category 3 storm. You can see it there spinning north of the Dominican Republic, just north of the Caribbean, and you got a couple other areas of interest we will get to. So there is Aaron as it stands now, much more intense than it was even 48 hours ago, 24 hours ago, and this is forecast to move northwest and then sharply north and northeast over the next several days. So here's where the track goes, and you can see it now splits the gap between Bermuda and the U.S. coastline. It's a bit of a change up from the last couple of days because now that will provide just some choppy surf again for the Outer Banks, maybe a little choppier so than we initially thought, but it'll also keep Bermuda away from the center of this storm So this splitting islands, staying away from the Canadian Maritimes, that is all very good things to see. We'll note that it's likely going to become a major Category 4 at some point. So I want to go back to this. This is the NHC outlook without Aaron in the picture. And this wave that's 30%, that's what I want to watch, and this is where I want to caution you about future model data. So first thing I'm going to show you is sea level pressures off the GFS model. This is later this week. This is on Wednesday. Okay, you see nothing there. There's Aaron, and that's about it. What you're going to see now as we head into the weekend and early next week, this is next Tuesday. So 9 days from now, it's showing the GFS is depicting a low, that 30% area, tropical wave making it to the Florida Keys as a potential tropical system. This would indicate a hurricane. And then just a couple days later, or a day or so later on Thursday, it's got a landfalling hurricane. Okay, true, the last several model runs have showed this for the GFS, but it's just one model, and the GFS tends to be very aggressive. So that would put a landfall sometime very late next week, somewhere along the Gulf Coast. Take that same tropical wave, okay? Grab the European model. Notice the difference, okay? Okay, it's starting to form. It has a track that goes north of the Caribbean, in case you're wondering. That is this right here. And then guess where it puts this? Out in the Atlantic. That is a several hundred-mile difference between two models. We just don't know yet. So be careful seeing that. You'll probably see more posts like that. And if it comes to fruition, we'll start talking about it more regularly. Just thought we'd put that out there for anyone who's seen that and has questions. My thoughts on that now are until that tropical wave gets going and it forms into something worth tracking, we'll kind of denounce that at the moment, but we'll see. That might end up changing. So let's look at our weather headlines here again for this week. We'll show you the composite radar one more time. Again, decent lightning with these brief, heavy downpours. And that's about it. Rain chances looking pretty low here over the next several days. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll see you on Monday.